Welcome to the Daily Shift. Today we are sitting with one sentence from Jesus that most of us often quote and obey rarely. In John 15:5, Jesus says, "I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me you can do nothing." Not less, not you will struggle a bit more. Nothing. That's what you won't do. That's uncomfortable math for people like most people. People who are gifted, disciplined, experienced, and used to getting things done. We don't feel like nothing people. We have skill. We have track records. So we quietly edit the verse in our heads to say, apart from me, you can do less. Jesus didn't say that. He said a branch cut off from the vine isn't a smaller branch, it's a dead one. A branch is not the source of anything. It doesn't manufacture sap. It doesn't decide when to bear fruit. Its only job is to stay attached. Everything the branch produces, every grape, every bit of fruit, is actually the vine's life flowing through it. This is the exact inversion of how we are trained to think about productivity. We are taught, identify the goal, build the strategy, execute with excellence, and all that has its place. But Jesus isn't describing a strategy. He is describing a connection. The original Greek word for abide, meno, means to remain, to stay put, to not wander off. It's not a technique, it's a relationship you either maintain or neglect. The defining mark of a fruitful branch isn't talent. It's staying attached when it would be easier, faster, or more impressive to run on your own strength. A branch doesn't hustle for nutrients, it receives them. A branch doesn't prove its worth by how hard it tries, it simply stays connected. A branch that gets disconnected doesn't fade slowly, it withers immediately, even if it still looks green for a little while. That last point matters. You can be cut off from the Christ and still look fruitful for a season, running an old momentum, old anointing, old repetition. I repeat that. That last point matters. You can be cut off from Christ and still look fruitful for a season, running an old momentum, old anointing, and old reputation. The verse isn't warning you about today, it's warning you about what's coming if the connection isn't real. Whether you're closing a deal, praying over your family, preparing a homily, or advising someone twice your age, the test of abiding isn't in your quiet time. It's in the moment you're moving fast and no one would notice if you skipped it. For example, a businessman. Before you finalize the deal, pause, even for 60 seconds, and ask, Lord, is this from you or just from me? A good decision made apart from him is still a branch operating on its own supply. What about a husband and father? You lead your home from abiding, not from obligation. The love that lasts isn't the love you perform when you're being watched. It's the love that overflows because you're with him first. What about a priest and disciple? Guard against ministering from your gifting instead of from your abiding. A withered branch can still preach a good sermon for a while. It cannot do so forever. What about a friend and neighbor? Let your presence with people be fruit, not performance. You don't need the right words. You need to have actually been with the vine before you show up. What about a missionary or a worker in God's kingdom? Return to the difference between working for God and remaining in Him. Fruit that lasts doesn't come from the mission field. It comes from the connection you carry on to it. Three things to carry with you today. 1. Before any decision this week that matters, a contract, a hard conversation, a sermon, a family decision, stop for 60 seconds and ask, am I abiding right now or am I just moving? 2. Name the branches that look green but aren't attached. Is there an area of your life running an old momentum, old discipline, old anointing, old skill, rather than present connection to Christ? Name it honestly this week. Don't fix it, yet just name it. 3. John 15 says the Father prunes even fruitful branches so they can bear more. Ask Him this week, what do you want to cut away from me? Not because it's bad, but because it's in the way. The world will always reward you for looking productive. It will rarely ask whether you are actually connected to the source. But Jesus isn't grading your output today. He's asking about your attachment. You don't need to be more impressive this week. You need to be more abiding. Because the branch was never meant to carry the vine's weight. The vine carries the branch. Stay attached. Stay small in your own strength. Stay in Him. Thanks for listening to the Daily Shift. May God's divine mercy be upon us all. Until next time.